everybody, and welcome to Bad Movie Brothers. I'm Eric.
And I'm Chad.
And this time we watched Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway.
Do you remember seeing this box at the movie stores?
Absolutely.
So do I.
The whole Witchboard series.
I don't remember there being other ones.
There's a Witchboard.
Obviously there was others, but I don't remember them. And now, are all of the witch boards pertaining to Ouija boards?
Well, I've seen now Witchboard 2.
Uh-huh.
And I have seen Witchboard.
Yes.
And I can verify that there's a Ouija board in Witchboard.
Okay.
And as our viewers are about to find out, there's some Ouija board action in Witchboard 2.
Oh my God, these things really work?
Some?
Too much.
A majority.
Too much. And I would assume that there is more Ouija board in Witchboard 3. Why the movies are called Witchboard, a phrase that I do not believe is ever uttered in the course of Witchboard 2, is somewhat beyond me. Except I think Ouija might be trademarked by like Milton Bradley or something.
Oh, indeed.
Mm-hmm. But now there's new Ouija movies, so who the hell knows?
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I assume
you
took notes during your viewing. He's going to show them. There they. Oh, they're typed out, printed.
I always type them.
Now, how did you spell Ouija in your notes?
Well, I had the advantage of spell check.
Uh-huh.
But that said, I spelled Ouija at least 3 different ways before stumbling upon the correct spelling.
All right.
I at no point stopped in taking my notes to see what spell check was saying that isn't right, and I just kept going whatever, because who even thinks Ouija is in the spell check dictionary to begin with?
So you weren't spelling it correctly, is the point?
No, probably not until past the hour mark of the movie.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
You?
Oh, I didn't even try. I just went WEEGEE. Why waste my time with the OUIJA?
Well, surely you knew it started with an O.
Yeah, I got it.
And that there was a J in there somewhere.
How much easier is it for me to spell Ouija real quick than...
Right. I think I was spelling it OUIJI.
Almost.
Mm-hmm. But then I think initially I was just spelling it OUJI, which that's just...
Auja.
Yeah. Who knows what that was all about.
See, at least mine, when I'm reading it, Ouija. I get it.
Sure. All right. But, when I look at the word Ouija, I don't have to do any mental gymnastics. That's what learning to read is.
Whatever.
Okay. That's fair.
Tomato.
What did you think of Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway?
In what sense?
Dealer's choice.
So.
Yeah.
I thought the story was ridiculous.
Sure. Okay.
And a little bit hard to follow.
Agreed.
But some of the scenes and visual cues that were given
the set pieces.
Yeah, they were quite arresting. Like her dreams were pretty cool.
Dreams were terrific. Absolutely. We should probably tell people what the movie Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway is about. This movie has
like they don't already know.
I mean, if you can't do the math on this one, I don't know how to help you. But for the sake of completion, the movie follows Paige, a young woman who moves into an apartment. When she's in the apartment, she finds a Ouija board.
Or does the Ouija board find her?
The titular witch board in any event.
Mm-hmm.
She then starts using it to communicate with a dead lady named Susan. There's a great deal of confusion whether this is because Susan had lived, I think, in that very apartment beforehand,
right?
And she dead or missing or something.
Mhm.
And so Paige deals with the other people who live in the apartment building, does different Ouija things, spooky things and murders start to happen, and Paige gets drawn further and further into the world of Ouija and amateur sleuthing.
Well, we find out that Ouija can be very addicting.
We do. In what I felt like was the most BS part of a
Oh.
movie that had a lot of BS in it.
Let me read you some of the symptoms. Feigning spells, aggression, excessive use of profanity, overtly sexual provocative behavior. Sound like anyone you know?
Russell, what am I gonna do?
Okay, my rankings for BS would put that number 2. Number 1
Yeah.
is the fact that apparently
Mm-hmm.
the Ouija spirits
Mm-hmm.
are liars and bad spellers.
What's a rifle cape?
You got me.
It isn't some spiritual term of some kind?
Not that I know of. Are you sure she didn't misspell it?
Is that possible?
Are you kidding? Spirits are terrible spellers.
We do not get this business until a full hour into the movie. It is an hour into what is essentially a haunted house movie before our heroes finally get their act together and go find a Ouija expert
Yes.
to ask him questions. And yes, when he throws out the the ghost can't spell.
Yeah.
Why is that even in the movie?
Yeah, why are we wasting time?
That felt like when you're making a movie when you're a kid and you just shoot it all in order in the camera and you don't really have a script or a good idea of the plot or anything. And you get to a certain point and you realize, we've been misspelling words. We need to throw in, and by the way, ghosts is terrible spellers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And he also tells us that Ouija can be addicting
Yes.
because he gives them the history of Ouija book.
Right. And sure enough, within about 15 minutes, Russell, a friend of Paige's from the apartment building, a photographer, confronts Paige with that she has all the signs of Ouija addiction.
Right.
Which includes strong language.
Well, then who the f*** is it?
Yes, and, when she's in this addiction is when we get to those dreams that I so enjoyed.
The dreams are terrific. Occasionally, she will just, be asleep or blacked out at the Ouija board.
Yeah.
And she will have a dream, and all the dreams are very stylish. There's my favorite one had an arm come out of the Ouija board.
That was cool.
And it was all like tattooed up with the Ouija board letters and stuff.
Yeah. I thought it was a little too Scrabble-esque, but whatever.
Particularly the part where she busts out the Scrabble.
Yep.
Because for some reason, not only is the ghost a bad speller, the ghost sends her an anagram she has to figure out.
Yeah, she did a word jumble.
Yeah, why didn't the ghost just tell her?
They're not good spellers.
Oh my good. That was one of my biggest problems. And I have several problems with this movie, which was, what is the ghost's plan?
You've brought a stumping ground there.
Because-
I think the plan was to get her addicted and as we see later on, steal her body.
That's fair. So Susan wants to live again.
Right.
Is sort of the motivation that we are given at about an hour 20 into an hour 30 movie.
He starts to threaten and terrorize you, breaking down your resistance like brainwashing. So eventually, he can possess you.
Why would Susan want to possess me?
I guess. And then this is, you brought up that the movie's confusing. Part of why it's confusing is there's a lot of back and forth about whether or not the ghost is or is not Susan.
Right.
And there's this whole weird red herring where they start building up Russell, the nice guy neighbor, to maybe being the secret bad guy who killed Susan. But then that doesn't end up panning out.
He's not a nice guy neighbor. And what are you talking about? That does pan out.
But does it? I was confused by that.
Yeah, he's the guy that killed her.
But doesn't he have a reason for having killed her?
No.
Because I'm pretty sure, but by the end of the movie, we're supposed to be rooting for Russell again.
No.
Are you sure?
When he pulls out a pickaxe to kill people, you think we're supposed to root for him?
I don't know, man. I was confused because this is also
his
a
pickaxe
movie.
in his photo studio.
He's got to go down to the photo mines.
Yeah.
But this
He
is also a
forged
movie.
her signature, so it looked like it wasn't Susan.
Right.
He's the bad guy.
Right. He's been gaslighting Paige and their landlady, who more about later, throughout this whole movie about, oh, well, this couldn't possibly be the real Susan because of this, and this.
Oh, yeah. Here, take a look at this.
What is it?
Susan's lease agreement. Compare the S's in her signature to the S in stop.
It doesn't match.
But then it turns out it is Susan, and he's been intentionally misleading them because he killed her. But I could swear we're supposed to be rooting for him, and this is only made more confusing because, like, at the end they set up this whole thing where it seems like he's gonna kill Paige,
Right.
but then he's trying to protect Paige.
No, he's not. He's trying to kill her.
Is he?
Yes.
All right. But there's
Mitch,
also a
Mitch
movie.
is protecting Paige.
Well, and that's what's confusing too, is so Mitch is Paige's ex-boyfriend who shows up early in the movie in a very rote, I'm your bad ex-boyfriend here to punch you in the face type scene.
I am an artist.
Why? Because you did a couple drawings when you were a kid? You know, if you really wanted to paint Paige, you could have just set your stuff up in the garage. You didn't have to move out.
Which is where we also find out that he is a brutal policeman officer.
Yep.
Which, timely. In any event. And so we're clearly supposed to not like Mitch, and we're supposed to like Russell, who's standing up for or against Mitch, but then about halfway into the movie's just like, Mitch isn't so bad.
That's right. He survives a terrible car crash.
Okay, so there's definitely a part of this movie where, you know, various people are being knocked off or whatever by Susan.
Mm-hmm.
And she decides she needs to knock off Mitch because Mitch, I think, found Susan's body.
No, he found that, well, I can't remember.
I think he finds Susan's body in the woods because she gives him this real, like, weird oblique message about where they can find her body.
Yeah, he finds plot 217 in
Right.
Parkwood's whatever.
Right, because the ghost knows the plot number.
Paige, it's Mitch. Listen, I think I found your friend, Susan Sidney.
You're kidding. Where?
Well, it seems a couple of years ago, Park Woods was going to be developed into tract homes. The plans fell through, but not before they subdivided the land into lots, and one of the lots is number 217.
And then Paige goes into one of her Ouija board frenzies.
Susan, I have good news. Mitch found your body. He's driving out there right now.
And then Susan takes over Mitch's car for a pretty good, out-of-control car sequence that ends in a boat crash.
On land.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff. And that's the thing about this movie to me, is that anytime stuff is happening, I think it's a halfway decent movie.
Yes.
But there's a lot of this movie where nothing is happening.
You know, or when something happens, it happens to be a saw attached to the camera that just looks really terrible.
Oh, I thought that was a hoot. I enjoyed that very much. Very Sam Raimi-esque, and then the
Yeah, I was gonna
saw
say.
blade is taking out the light bulbs for some reason. That was pretty good. I like
But
that.
meanwhile, when they go in there to look at the scene,
Yeah.
all the lights are fine.
They're fine. She's a ghost. Here's the thing. She can fly a saw blade through the air. she can take control of a car. Surely then she can unscrew the bad light bulbs and put good ones in so people can admire her handiwork.
Certainly, because as we see later in the movie,
Mm-hmm,
she becomes like a superhuman being.
And this is what confuses me about the movie above all else, which is that if she can do all this shit, if she can take over a car and a saw blade and blow up a mirror and all the other stuff that she did,
That's 7 years.
Possess stuff that is miles away,
Yes.
why does she need the Ouija board?
Oh, don't forget she squashes old Elaine. Just squashes her.
She does. That was maybe my favorite kill of the whole a movie, which frankly does not have many. I think there's only 2 kills in this movie. She does throw a wrecking ball
At the landlord.
at the landlady. Who, for no reason, thinks it's 1969.
Elaine?
My wife. She's the one who actually owns the building. And I guess I should warn you, she's a bit eccentric.
What do you mean?
Oh, she's harmless. It's just that she still thinks it's 1969. You still want to move in?
Their parents, her, Elaine, and Russell, brother and
mhm.
sister,
Yeah.
their parents were killed
hmm
in a car crash or something in the 60s.
2 things. One, I mean, just because they explained it doesn't mean that it's in any way necessary to the movie.
That's the reason.
That
That's the reason.
That it's not a huge sore thumb in this Ouija board movie that there's a lady who thinks it's still the 60s, and that lady is Lorraine Newman from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, exactly.
Far out, he likes you.
Oh boy!
The plot ultimately ends up being about that Susan, who was Susan wants Paige's body because.
Yep.
I mean, I get that she wants a body, and she probably doesn't want Lorraine Newman's body. Oh yeah, she's very happy with that body.
She's a model.
She was an exotic dancer.
No, and a model.
Okay.
Russell was taking pics.
That does not make you a model. Russell taking pictures of you does not make you a model.
Why not?
I don't know. But that's weird too, is there's that scene where she's possessed Paige.
Yes.
And then she's happy with her body, and she's like, oh, and I've picked such a good body. But when you're watching the movie, her whole body is turned into Susan's body.
So
then couldn't she have possessed anybody?
And it would be a shame to put a hole in such a nice body when I just got it. It is a nice body, isn't it? Not as nice as mine, but then I was a dancer.
They looked so similar to me that I wasn't quite sure that it wasn't the same person.
It's not, and that's where I have to give you this look.
They look too similar.
They look very different.
Clearly the hair was different.
Yes.
But that's about it.
And that's something that annoyed me, is I thought that the movie would have been more effective if then the actress playing Paige got to be all evil at the end of the movie.
Right.
But no, now they just bring in this other lady.
Yep. I was really hoping for some more footage of Paige at work and her coworker that she hates. I want to see them go back and forth some more.
Yeah, that plot didn't go anywhere.
Nowhere.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is my office, my desk. How dare you come in here like this? And you get out of here before...
Shut the up! If you ever pull a stunt like this again, you're gonna need a calculator to count all the teeth you'll be missing.
But a lot of this movie just ends up being Ouija-ing.
Yes, a lot of... Is that the word? Ouija-ing or Ouija?
Scrying?
I don't know.
But there's a lot of A, B, like, because they are gonna let you see the whole Ouija.
So when they're each and every one of those scenes, when they're spelling out the letter, the word, they would then like say what the word was, like they all didn't know what it was.
Right. Like you couldn't just at a certain point say to the ghost, "Okay, all right, we got
Yeah,
it."
yeah. Parkwood got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
C-A-R-L-A. Carla?
Weird stuff all around. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I have a whole ton to say about this movie because again, not a lot really happens.
Have you ever partaken in the Ouija?
I don't think so. I have a Ouija board. I got a cool old one in an estate sale.
Okay.
Like I don't think it does anything. Just
Oh, so you don't believe in the Ouija is what you're saying?
Well, you were looking at me like, what do you need a Ouija board for? What are you doing over there?
Well, I was surprised that you have one.
Yeah, well, I have a bunch of weird stuff.
Okay.
Have you not met me? In any event, but no. Have you Ouija'd?
I have not. I don't think I've ever seen one in person.
Okay. Well, I should have brought mine.
Wouldn't be in person.
No, that's true. It's as personal as we get in these times.
Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems stupid.
Yeah. So I don't know my overall thoughts on this movie. I don't know if it's a thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down. I'm not really sure.
I would give it yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you come across it on the YouTube and you're not doing anything, it's not terrible.
That's fine. It's no Witchboard is what I would say.
Oh, well, I haven't seen.
I would recommend that. I thought, now I'm not saying Witchboard is like head and shoulders a great movie or nothing.
Sure.
But it's a better movie. It stars Tawny Katane.
Oh, there you go.
Price
of admission.
There you go. And she's pretty good in it. And there's, it's a similar, I don't remember it super well. I saw it a year or two ago. But that was a pretty good movie. And this is a not bad movie. This feels like pretty much a direct-to-video rehash of the first thing. Interestingly, and I'm surprised you haven't asked, this has nothing to do with the first Witchboard.
Oh, I didn't think it did.
Susan is not in the first Witch. None of that has anything to do with anything.
Yeah.
And and because since Witchboard played in movie theaters, there's more money on the screen.
Sure.
And all of that. But that said, there was more money on the screen in this thing than I had thought there would be.
Yeah.
Like that car chase, you don't throw a car into a boat for free.
Well, usually not.
Right. You pay for it later.
Yeah, but my point is, I have no idea where to place this in the rankings.
Well, and let's have that because we actually have a fair amount. We have some ranking homework to do.
Oh, no.
Because we did not rank our last two movies.
We didn't.
We did not.
Okay.
So we have to rank those as well on my newly retyped.
There it is.
Ranking sheet. So for me, I had given this some thought. I would say that Witchboard is like the easiest movie of our oeuvre to compare it to. I would say is Dolly Dearest.
Yes.
Just in that Dolly Dearest is maybe the only other just straight horror movie that we have done. I would say it is not quite as good as Dolly Dearest.
No, I like Dolly Dearest better.
Yeah. So Dolly Dearest is hanging around at number 9. Then we got Primo Baby.
Okay. Which way are you going?
I'm going down. So it goes Dolly Dearest, Primo Baby, Spooky House, Rock and Roll High School Forever, Speed Zone, Get Crazy, Fright Night 2, which is another horror movie.
I'd put it above Fright Night 2.
You think it's better than Fright Night 2?
Yes.
I think I would have to agree with that. I think I would also say that it is better than Get Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And probably better than Speed Zone.
Okay.
But not as good as Rock and Roll High School Forever.
No, you can't. That's a tough.
Yeah. So I think we're putting it, I think it's a number 13.
Ew. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. So now folks, we must indulge us. We need to take a look at a couple of the last two movies. We have to look at The Hounds of Notre Dame,
Oh, gosh.
which was not for me.
Nope.
So we're looking around the bottom of the list here, I feel like.
Yeah, what's the very bottom?
The very bottom is the similarly Canadian $1 Million Hockey Puck.
Uh-huh.
I think it's better than $1 Million Hockey Puck.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Return to Boggy Creek.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it's better than Rollerblade.
Okay.
And then we got Night of the Twisters, Night of the Warrior, A Time for Romance.
Okay, it's below A Time for Romance to me.
Okay, you don't think it's as good as Fabio?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree to that. I think it has some sort of merit to it, but it just didn't work
No.
for me. And then Joysticks.
Oh, here we go.
We have to consider Joysticks. I think Joysticks is very much in the Witchboard area.
Yeah, a little higher.
You think I would put it right above Witchboard.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's as good as Rock and Roll High School Forever.
No. I think we made it work.
Yeah. Well, we made short work of that.
Yeah, we're good.
There you go. Well, all right, folks. I mean, that's Witchboard 2. As light and airy a movie as I think we've ever had on the show. Not painful to watch.
No.
In any means, but also, not. It was a Dorito. It was a bag of Doritos in your lunch.
Which flavor?
Regular.
Oh.
It's fine.
Nacho.
Right. It's not gonna sate your hunger.
Right.
But you're not gonna turn your nose up at it.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next time with another bad movie.
Goodbye.
Bye.